Hello Year 9. As promised, I'm going to go through the weekly skills homework booklet. I'm going to go through 1 week so you can see the skills that are needed. Start with question 1. Question 1 is the topic that we're currently doing, so we should recognise this. So FOIL, foil. The firsts are x squared. The outers, x times 5 is 5x. The inners, negative 6 times x is negative 6x. And the last, negative 6 times 5 is negative 30. The O and the I can be simplified. 5 take away 6 is negative 1. So my final answer will be x squared minus x minus 30. Same method with this, although we've only got positives, will be x times x, x squared. X times 2, 2x. X times 2, or 2 times x, 2x. And 2 times 2, 4. Simplify that again, and I get x squared plus 4x plus 4. Question 3. As long as you recognise that 10 to the power 3 is the same as 1,000, then this question becomes quite simple, okay? It will be 2, 3, 1, 1, and then the 3 zeros, which when reading that will be 2,311,000. Similar question with this, but I've got a division. This is going to be 10,000, 10 to the power 4. You'll notice 4 there and 4 there. So this question would be 674000 divided by 10000. When I look at that, I'm going to have some simplifying that I can do, and that leaves me with 674 divided by 10, which is 67.4. Question 5. 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour. So if I'm looking for kilometres per hour, then I need to times this by 4. 16 times 4 is 64 kilometres per hour. And on the next question, 1 hour 30 is 1.5 hours. So I want 1.5 lots of 90. So 1 lot of 90 is obviously 90. A half of 90 is 45. 90 add 45 is 135 kilometres per hour. Okay? With this next question, we're multiplying the fractions, but what we need to do, of course, is we don't want to work with a mixed number if we can help it. So let's have a look. So let's convert this to a mixed number, and what we do is we take the denominator and we multiply it by the whole number. So 2 times 2 is 4. Then we add the numerator, which is 5. So this number becomes 5 over 2 multiplied by 4 over 5. When I look at that, I can then say 5 times 4 is 20, 2 times 5 is 10, and that simplifies to become 2. Okay, so quite a simple answer from what looked like quite a complex question. Same with this, 2 times 5, so it's this, 2 times 5 is 10, add 2 is 12, so 12 over 5 multiplied by 1 over 3. 12 times 1 is 12, 5 times 3 is 15. They are both in the 3 times table, so I can divide those both by 3, and I get 4/5. Next question. 110 as a product of its prime factors. So I'm going to start with 10 and 11. 11 is a prime number. 10 can be written as 2 times 5. So my answer will be 2 times 5 times 11. There are no repeated numbers there, so I don't need to use index form. With this one, I've got 5 times 8. 8 can be written as, 5 is a prime number. 8 can be written as 2 times 4, and 4 can be written as 2 times 2. So in this case, I have got repeated numbers. I've got 3 lots of 2, so it'll be 2 cubed times 5. Question 11. I need to solve this, okay? So I'm looking for working out what the value of x is. Now, I've got a fraction. If I can get rid of the fraction, that's got to be useful. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. And that will give me 3x plus 68 equals 8 lots of x plus 6. I can then multiply that bracket out. So I get 3x plus 68 equals 8x plus 48. Okay. From that, I can then collect my like terms. There are more x's there. So I'm going to bring my 3x across. So I'm going to take away 3x, which will give me 5x. So 68 equals 5x plus 48. Because of space, I'm going to have to move just across a little bit, I think. We can see from that, if I take away 48, then I'm left with 20 equals 5x. If 20 equals 5x, 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So x equals 4. Okay? So again, quite a lot of work, but eventually quite a simple answer. Exactly the same process with this. You'll see they're both in the exact same format. So I'm going to times by 2, which will give me 5x plus 16 equals 2 lots of x plus 5. Multiplying out the brackets, I get 2x plus 10. This time I've got more x's on this side, so I'm going to take away 2x, which gives me 3x plus 16 equals 10. I can then subtract 16 from both sides, which gives me 3x equals negative 6, and x therefore is negative 2. Next question. Now, a geometric sequence. This isn't something we particularly looked at in class, but where we have a linear sequence changes by adding the same amount every time. But with this, a geometric sequence, we are multiplying the same each time, okay? So I start with 2, and I'm not going to add 5. I'm going to that was a terrible underline, I do apologise. I'm then going to multiply by 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 5 is 50. What's 4 terms? 50 times 5 is 250, okay? So you can see it gets a lot bigger, a lot quicker, okay? But that process is still the same. Again, I have another geometric sequence, so we're now going to start with our first term of 4. I'm going to times it by 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 times 4 is 64. And then 64 times 4, well, 60 times 4 is 240. 4 times 4 is 16. 240 add 16 is 256. Question 15. Divide an amount into a ratio. So the first thing I need to do, I need to add these together, okay? 2 add 11 equals 13. So I've got 13 parts now. So I'm going to say 65 divided by 13. And that will tell me the value of each part. So how many 13s are there in 65? There are, well, it goes 13, 26, 39, and then after 39 comes 52, and then 65. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The value of each part is 5. Okay. So now I've got 2 times 5, and I've got 11 times 5. So that's going to be 10 and 55. And just to check, 10 add 55, 10 pounds add 55 pounds, does in fact equal 65, so we're there. Exactly the same with this. 7 add 1 equals 8. 24 divided by 8 equals 3. So I've now got 3 times 7 and 3 times 1. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay. Right, decrease by 20%. As you know, I encourage you not to use calculator for this. So I'm for this homework. So my suggestion would be with this that we're going to say that 100% is £4,600. So 10% will be Divide it by 10, 460. 20% therefore is 2 of those. So 2 lots of 460. 2 lots of 400 is 800. 2 lots of 60 is 120. So it will be £920. So my calculation now is going to be 4,600 subtract 920. So that's 0. We have 8. And then we have 6 and 3. So the answer is £3,680. If we wanted to check that with a calculator, because of course we know that there is a calculator method that we can use, then we would say decreasing by 20. 100% take away 20% is 80%. So I want 80% of that. 80% as a decimal is 0.8. So 4,600 times 0.8 gives me 3,680, which is what I got. So I can be confident that I've got the right answer. Okay. Exactly the same with this one, decreasing by 20%. So 100% is £7,720, which means 10% is £772. 20% is double that. So double 700 is 1,400. Double 72 is 144. So it will be 1,544. So my question now would be 7,720 subtract 1,544, which is 6, 7, 1, 6. So £6,176. And again, if I wanted to use the calculator for that, I could do, because I've already got it kind of set up there. I'm going to go with 7720, and that gives me an answer of 6176. So again, I've confirmed that I'm right with that. So it's all good. Okay, final 2 questions. Same kind of question for both of them. And you'll see we've got an expression with powers, with indices, inside brackets that themselves have been raised to a power. So using our law of indices, we're going to say it's going to be this one. So it's going to be x to the a raised to the power of b will be x to the ab. Okay, so I'm going to multiply each term, each part of the term within the brackets to get the term, to get the final term. Okay, so one of the big mistakes people make with this is they forget the first bit. Okay, so these are the terms. I've got 3 terms I'm going to multiply, but I'm going to cube. Okay, because it's to the power of 3. 3 cubed, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, and that's the bit that people tend to forget. X squared cubed, 2 times 3 is 6, so it's going to be x to the power of 6. And then y, 5 times 3 is 15. So my answer is 25x to the power of 6, y to the power of 15. Same with this one, but this time I'm squaring. So 3 squared is 9. X squared squared is x to the power 4. Z to the power 4 squared, 4 times 2 is 8, so it's going to be z to the power of 8. Okay? And there we have it. There we have the 20 questions. If you need any help during lessons, obviously I can give that help. But this should hopefully give you a bit of a better chance at being able to work through these questions for your homework, okay?